Welcome, everybody. This is the Franklin County Fiscal Court Energy Committee meeting for August the 19th, 2021. And we welcome all of you. And we have several members of the Fiscal Court, Squire Tracy, as well as Squire Blackburn. And Judge Barton will be leading us today. And we welcome you, Judge Barton. Thank you. And Ryan Minard to go over the progress of what's happening at our jail and throughout our county from ESG. So with that being said, I'll pass it over to you, Judge Barton, and let you continue on.
Okay. I will make sure that I document rather than doing a roll call. We do have the elected and voting members as well as the other constitutional officer, De La Bonta, and some staff. So I'll go ahead and get that together in a list of those in attendance. And then I'll turn it over to Ryan Minard for a progress update.
Right, thank you. We'll start with progress photos. Hopefully everybody can see that. So what we've got here, this is a before photo. This is the front entrance. They're at the regional jail. Good idea to show you what kind of conditions that were there previously that we were tasked with making improvements on. So that was a before. Oops. Here's kind of a during photo, just to kind of give you an idea of the installation process. So this is after they tore out the old roof and built it up with insulation to drain properly to that entrance drain. Again, more of a kind of in progress. So this is after they got the membrane down, getting it flashed in there. And then this is the final product, minus the metal etching, which they're working on this week. So again, this front entrance, so everything now pitches towards that drain. We did have to do a little bit of modifications to that drain to make sure it was getting into the downspout. So everything's good there. Looks like a good install. So we'll see the next rain, make sure we don't have a pond up there.
Well, what about today, Ryan? Let's ask. We got over 3 inches of rain today. Ask Jailer Bonta if he had any issues during 3 inches of rain. Jailer?
I haven't been. No leaks have been reported to me. I've been in this office in meetings all day though, but nothing's been reported to me. Wes?
Nothing's been reported to me either, no leaks. I've not been on the roof to actually check to see if it's holding water or not. But nothing leaking, so that's good. Okay.
Well, that's pointing the right direction, Ryan. Thank you.
Good deal. What we've got here, this is the gas line for the generator. This is while they are fabricating that line. This is a couple weeks ago. It's essentially a plastic pipe that they fuse together, and then they have stub ups. So what you got, this contraption down on the bottom is what the machine they use to heat it up and fuse it together.
Cool.
Close up so you can see that this is the top side of the photo is where the current joint or that joint was being heated up and fused together. Again, just want to show you guys the process. Keep you informed. Once that was fused together, they did a pressure test to make sure it held prior to putting in the trench. So they pumped it up to about 15 psi, and there was no leaks. So they were clear to put it in the trench. And this is the pipe in the trench. The wire on that line is a tracer wire. So in the future, if there is ever a need to locate that, a locating company can clip onto it and locate it pretty accurately. And this is the stub up at the pad for the generator. This was a photo. I know it's kind of far back, but the gray box right behind the gas stub up, that's the transfer switch that was set recently. That's where all the magic happens inside. As far as the generator connects into that transfer switch, and then the transfer switch wires go from there to inside the facility to make sure we've got everything powered up in the event of a power outage. That was a good progress there. That opens up that work for doing those wires terminations. Here's a photo of the skylights as far as part of the roofing package that we were putting on the exit vestibules. Again, just a picture of them crated up prior to being lifted on site or into location. I was out there earlier this week. They've got curbs built for those. They've got some metal work they need to do, and then they'll be able to set those in place. So that's all I've got for progress photos. Any questions on those before I move on?
I can't see anybody, Judge Barton. So if you see anybody, raise their hands.
Yeah, Scar Blackburn, he'd like to speak.
I know last time we were there, you had the exterior doors on site and connexes. Have they done any install on those yet, or are they done, or are they still waiting to be done?
Right, that's still waiting to be done. We were originally scheduled to start this week. They got pushed back with their subcontractor who's cutting the doors. So we're looking at an August 30th start date. So no progress on that to this point.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
I don't see anyone else. I don't see.
Yeah.
Scar Blackburn.
Yeah, I wanted to add. What happened? No, I don't want to take attendance. Oh wow. Yeah. Being a teacher, I'm using my Chromebook. It said, "Do I want to take attendance for this meeting?" No. Anyway, I know that the chief had talked, the fire chief, maybe having some doors to use for breach and training and things like that. So I didn't know if y'all still had thought about that, or if that was on the table, or you're gonna hold a couple of them back. Yep,
that's still the plan. I've contacted obviously the sub for that, make sure we save at least one door. I know that's for sure what they were wanting. So we'll cut them out. The first one will tell us how bad it is getting them out, but the way the process should be is you just cut around the frame, and the whole door should come out in one piece. So.
Right. Awesome. Good job. Thanks.
Uh-huh. All right, we'll jump into schedule update. We kind of touched on that a little bit there with the doors, but this is the current schedule. So the plumbing upgrades, that's the water conservation side there. A large portion there at the jail, that's upgrading the valves, some of the fixtures to reduce water consumption. We've got the D-pod valve installation slated to be taking place on the 30th. That's that additional valves we discussed using that customer contingency for, which was approved. So I got to go ahead on that, just trying to get that scheduled currently. So once that's done, that'll open up the rest of the work for the water conservation to take place. Roof replacement. As I showed you the photo, the front entrance, that was the last portion to be roofed. Now what we've got is metal work, detail work that's taking place. So that's been taking place. They've got a crew on site dedicated to do the metal edging. I'll be out there next week to get an update. As I mentioned, I was out there Monday. They've been making some good progress on that portion. So we've got the metal edging and then the skylights. And then that would wrap up the roofing portion of it. Generator install. As I mentioned in the photo, we've got the transfer switch set for the large generator. So that opens up the work for wire pulls and terminations. Also this week, they made progress on the pad for the smaller generator for the food storage building. I haven't laid my eyes on it, but it was supposed to have been poured I believe that Wednesday. Weather pending. So if it's poured, they'll be able to set that pad maybe later tomorrow or first of next week, and then get that all work tied in and everything. So making some decent progress there. Then HVAC upgrades. Again, all the major equipment's installed. UV lights installed. We had the controls group there putting some damper actuators on down in the mechanical room. Those are for, I guess, exhaust dampers, intake dampers for that mechanical room. Get those tied into the system. So we've just got some miscellaneous items there. And then we've also got a test and balance, I believe I mentioned before. So we will go in, test the fans, get them up to, whatever their capacities are for CFM, and make sure everything's balanced on the intake and supply side. So we're not overblowing or pulling too much air out of the space. So we've got test and balance to be completed, working to get that scheduled. And then once test and balance is done, we've got a commissioning group that will check out the controls, kind of a third party check just to ensure systems are operating as they should. If we say a damper should be at 10%, that it moves to 10%, those type items like that. So I got that held out, to October timeframe. So depending on schedules and wrapping up some of these loose items, we'll keep an eye on that date. And then, like we talked about, the jail door replacement, it was scheduled to take place the 16th. Again, that got pushed back due to Willow, the supplier of the doors, their subcontractor for cutting the doors. So right now we've got a date of August 30th for starting. Then we've got about 3 weeks worth of work there. Then we've got the EFIS repair. Again, I've been holding off on the EFIS until we get these doors out and back in to ensure we don't have any further damage, around those openings that we need to patch. So we'll kind of roll that in right after the doors. So with that, that's the schedule. So any questions on schedule? JW?
Yes, Ryan, thank you. I know when we were last there and we did a walkthrough, we were waiting on the electrical connections for the UV lighting in the air handlers. I know with this recent surge in COVID, I was wondering if we've gotten that taken care of yet, and we've got those UV light filters in place for the air handler units.
Yeah. So we've got the UV lights up and running. A couple of them are running off extension cords at this point, just because we don't have a dedicated outlet close enough. But we do have down in the basement those 2 units permanently installed. Again, some of those other units are active and running currently. So
good. I'm glad you got them running even without a dedicated circuit, because it's probably as important right now as it's ever going to be.
Yeah.
Squire, I agree. I'll add that I called Ryan last week or the week before when this came about and told him it was very, very important, and they showed up almost immediately and got those running for me. I appreciate it.
Outstanding. Thanks, Jake.
Ryan, do we have those working downtown?
Yeah, there are 3 of them running downtown. You got first and second floor at 313, and then you have the first floor at 315 that are operating. There's 2 units on 315, the second and third floor. There is no open outlets to even put an extension cord on at this point. And then that's the same thing for 313 up in the third floor. I don't have anything for those yet, but I've got Hills Electric. They're supposed to be getting the dedicated power to it. I have to follow up with them to see if that's completed, but they were heading that direction this week. So
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any other questions on schedule?
Just roll on, sir. If you would.
All right. We've got ECM status and measures with substantial completion. Again, this is our ECM matrix. Kind of updated it with some more colors. A lot of the stuff in progress. I wanted to show that. Sorry about adjusting there. As you can see, we got a good portion of work completed. A lot of the stuff we have in yellow is the items where we have some loose ends to wrap up. And then we have 3 essentially sections, plumbing upgrades, door replacement, and EFIS that hasn't had a start on it yet. So again, that's where we are on those items. And then we talked about the substantial completion. Last week, if I recall, sent in a partial acceptance form to Mr. Hewitt, and we walked down items that we said are complete. Those items are lighting upgrades. They're at all facilities, the jail and downtown, road department as well, and then the water conservation, the ozone laundry system, that system's installed and operating. And then we had the HVAC upgrades, the ductwork cleaning, the storage tanks that we did early on, along with the units at 313 and 315. The HVAC units are operating. So.
Ron, let me ask Jake about the ozone laundry. How's that working?
As far as I know, Judge, everything's working great there. I haven't heard any complaints at all.
Okay. Just was wondering.
Hopefully it will help also with controlling some of the particles.
Yeah, I hope the UV and the cleaning, and we're spraying, and I also have another UV that we just got recently for the visitation booths and stuff, but we're utilizing them quite a bit right now.
Ryan,
Yes, sir.
the acceptance certificate has been signed by the judge executive, and I scanned and emailed it to you late this afternoon.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, as we get items completed, we will probably send those, do walkthroughs, just ensure you guys are satisfied after I've gone through and ensured our punch list is complete. Again, walk those down and get sign off as we get those wrapped up. So appreciate that.
And Ryan, the key on this matrix real quick is green's complete, yellow's in progress, white is yet to be done, I assume.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I did not explain that. Appreciate that. Yep.
So make sure everyone understood what they were looking at.
Yeah, it was clear in my head.
Well, I thought so too, but then I thought, probably
But I put it together. So yeah.
Let her do a quick explanation. Okay, any questions on this? Where we are in the progress?
All right. The next item is pay application. I've got one in progress. Working trying to get that submitted here this week. I believe there's a fiscal court meeting next week, so we'll get that over to Robert for review prior to.
It's actually the week after next. It's on September the 2nd.
Okay.
So he's going to get it to, I think, Robert midweek next week, and hopefully it'll go to the deputy judge fiscal clerk by the end of the 26th or 7th, I think is our goal, I recall.
Yes.
Thursday, Friday.
All right. And then I guess we're in to other business and committee member comments. I guess other business I have, there was a item that was brought to my attention with KU, and Teresa, you may have some more insight on it, but it's about some sports lighting pilot program. I believe there's an option to kind of put in your interest about some potentially time of day rate changes that might benefit any kind of usage like that for ballparks. I can send you a link to it if that would work.
I think Charlie Lewis has investigated that, made the call.
Okay.
And Charlie, chime in if I'm incorrect, but I think you found that you all are on probably the better preferred rate versus.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. I filled out that application and sent it in, and they gave me a call back and said that we've been grandfathered in back in the 90s, just as a per use rate, kilowatt hour rate. So we're only billed simply for what we use.
It was a good catch though. So
Yeah.
again, judging, Squires and Robert, everyone who's, paying attention to the details of this, we're just trying to continue to look for things, make sure we're not missing something, that you're on the correct rate. You're not paying more than you should for demand, time of day, or any other utility. So I think Ryan Baker and Ryan Miner had identified something that was potential. So we were just trying to make sure that we're going to leave you in the best hands possible. That you're not, in something that's incorrect or it's going to cost the county more than it should. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for sending that to me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the quick response. Very helpful just to know. Is there any other business? Anyone else have anything to discuss? Additional questions, something we weren't clear on where we are?
Judge, if I could, just to mention to the committee, the UV lighting in these new systems, I think is very beneficial to the air quality of these public buildings. And just for consideration, I did ask if ESG would look into pricing for a retrofit for the UV lights for the 321 building. So I didn't want anybody to be surprised when I bring that up or bring it to the committee, but I just thought it'd be good to get a number just so we kind of know maybe it's something that the court may want to do for our 321 building, since we didn't replace any units in there. I think they're going in all the other facilities where HVAC was installed. So It won't cost us any money just to get pricing, but I just want to put that out there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. If there is no other business, I guess we're to the point of committee member comments. So Judge Wells, I'll start with you, if that's okay.
Okay, and the next item is the September 16th meeting. It looks like today, it looks like we are going to be having a joint meeting with the city at 4:00 on the September the 16th.
Okay, we can
I
adjust.
have to change that September 16th meeting, so we can talk about that.
Okay.
And it's safe to say, at least on my schedule, that we could go the 15th at 3:45 if you wanted to, but let's see what everybody else says about that.
Okay, sounds good. I have a thumbs up from Squire Blackburn.
I can't do the 15th, sorry.
All right, so then we'll have to go to probably let's see, might have to go to the next, let's see, the September
We could go to
Can you do it? Can you do anything? Can you do it on the 14th?
or Judge.
Tuesday, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem, sir.
Okay, as I say, or Thursdays are good. We could bump it to the fourth Thursday that week. That month, since we have 5.
Well, we've got some other things that week.
Okay.
too. So
The
the
14th.
14th, how about Squire Blackburn? Is he okay with the 14th?
Looking for him. He bumped on my screen. I get a thumbs up. Yeah, he bumped on my screen for some reason.
All right.
The 14th looks like it's a go date for the officials.
Okay, 3:45. Is that okay with everybody?
I'm getting nods and a thumbs up.
Okay.
Judge, Mr. Tippett issued that meeting invite, so I see the attendance list. If we could ask Mr. Tippett to change that for everyone's calendar, we would appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Andrew, I think Andrew's on. He can do that.
Okay. That sounds like a good deal. Squire Tracy or Squire Blackburn, any comments while we're in this section?
No, I think we're good. I'm pleased, Ryan, that you're on top of that EFS with any damage that may occur when you get those doors out. I'm glad you're doing that last to make sure we cover all the bases, and because it would be a pain to go out there and do it and then come back and have to spot here and there and the other. And I know that's there's going to be a color match issue, so we do it all at the same time. It's going to be the best outcome.
Yep.
Okay, Taylor Bonta, if there's nothing else, I'm looking for Squire Tracy. I think he must have. Oh, there he is. Do you think Squire Tracy? He's good. All right. Jay Levante, did you have anything you needed to add?
Just thank you all. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your patience right now while we get through this surge that we have, and we'll get through it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Deputy Judge Herod, anything from you?
Good, thank you.
All right, thanks so much. I'll just go down the line then from here, if that's okay. Rory or Ryan, anything additional to add during the discussion?
Nothing for me.
Okay, thank you. Robert, anything else?
No, ma'am. Great job to the team. We're progressing well, and thank you for what you're doing.
Good, thank you so much for your assistance. We couldn't do it without you, that's for sure. You and Jeremy, Wes. Jeremy, do you have anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Charlie Lewis.
I would like to throw out there if we've got, I don't know how much will be left at the end. If there's a couple dollars left at the end, I'm still interested in doing a water audit on the Gulf irrigation system.
Okay, I think Rory did some preliminary work on that. Rory, do you want to look at what you've done and see if there's anything we can provide them that we currently have?
Sure, I can go through the info we got.
Yeah, you can just get with me or email me. I'll be happy to take a look at it. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
I believe you do have some challenges out there that need to be addressed.
Yep,
Charlie, that is on a separate meter, is it not?
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on a dedicated meter. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Jeremy, Deputy Judge Wes.
No, ma'am, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chief?
We're good. Thanks you, Judge.
All right. And Chief Brewer, you're good?
Yes, we're good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ann?
No comments. Thank you.
Great. Did I miss anyone? Just want to make sure I did not. Okay. All right. We will proceed and make arrangements to have the meeting on the 14th instead of the 16th as noted here. And unless there's some additional comments, questions, or concerns, I guess, Judge, we are set to adjourn.
Okay. All right. Well, we thank everybody for showing up, and Squire Tracy and Squire Blackburn, I'm sure, are okay with us adjourning. So thanks, everybody. And we, once again, will be back on, I believe we said the 14th, Tuesday, the 14th of September.
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.